Hello and welcome to another special edition of the Father and Son Pastime podcast. It's our Home Run Derby episode. This is my dad.
How are you, everybody?
We are excited, Dad, because in 30 minutes, we are going to watch the most entertaining thing in all sports, in my opinion, Home Run Derby.
Great tradition.
Midsummer classic.
It is.
Dad,
in Seattle.
In Seattle.
Ken Griffey Jr. will be there.
The kid will be present. Very excited to see that. Yeah. Hope he stays the whole time and commentates and gives his opinion on everyone. I'm sure he's going to be pulling for Julio, the new kid in a way.
J-Rod.
Yeah. But Dad, it's not about first time I thought I ever say this. It's not about Griffey's opinion here. It's about ours. People came to see our opinion.
They'd much rather have Ken Griffey Jr.
Absolutely. If he had a podcast, he wouldn't have to even post, and he'd have 1 million followers. Yeah. Dad, obviously it's a bracket system. What I thought we'd do this year is just say who we have winning it, and then kind of look at matchups by matchups.
Sure.
Dad, who is your overall winner?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Ooh, so it's
Junior.
The only time that I think anyone's proud to wear a Mets jersey is on Home Run Derby, because it is
this year
time for a three-peat with Pete Alonso. I'm hoping. I know he's been injured, but that's my prediction. I'm sticking to it.
Tough draw.
It is.
I mean, that bracket is...
That was who he lost to last year.
I know, but why put them together right off the bat?
That's how seeding is.
I know.
So, well, let's go into that.
Sure.
Let's start up top. Let's start with our hometown kid, Adley Rutschman, speaking of kids and all that, versus another junior, Lou Bob, out of Chicago, a stadium that we saw for the first time this year, Dad.
That's right. Fireworks.
Robert, they had a fun scoreboard. Robert is the number 1 overall seed. Rutschman is the lowest rated, most unlikely to win it. Who do you have winning in that matchup?
I got Robert winning. I think one of the great stories of baseball is Rutschman. His dad's pitching to him. He's from the Pacific Northwest. It's a great story from Hollywood. But unfortunately, I think he'll come up a little short. But people are going to be cheering for Rutschman. He's the darling of Baltimore. You just got to respect what he's doing. But I think Robert wins this bracket.
Yeah, growing up, you'd always see that player that had the least amount of home runs in the Home Run Derby, and you're like, why is he there? And it's going to be fun to watch Adley.
Mancini.
Right, and he went pretty far last year too.
Yeah.
But Lou Bob has more than double the amount of home runs, and he hits the ball farther, and that
Comiskey.
Helps. Yeah. So it's clearly Robert for me too. It's just a question of how far he goes. Dad, sounds like Robert will face the winner of Adolis Garcia and Randy Arozarena. A pretty good matchup, in my opinion, the most fair matchup for the first round. Who do you have coming out of that?
I have Garcia coming out. Wow. He's just, I don't know if you... Well, he's just a strong, compact guy. Rule 5 draft guy, by the way. Cardinals let him go.
Not surprised.
Yeah, but the Rangers picked him up, and he is just one of these solid guys. I think that's a close contest, but Garcia wins.
Well, I'll take the other former Cardinal. I'll take Randy Arozarena. Funny how the Cardinals have no representation in this Derby, and they get to watch just a season fall. All right, so we have our first difference. We'd love to see that. Dad, let's just stay on that side. So who do you have between Robert and your Adolis Garcia pick?
I got Robert.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think Robert doesn't expel that much energy to beat Rutschman.
That's fair.
But Garcia does. I think this is going to be one of those 2 or 3 home run difference. Garcia is going to be a little spent in the next round. I think Robert's got more energy, and I think he's going to win that one.
So in the battle of Robert versus Randy, I love alliteration, I have Randy Land moving on. So I have Randy in the finals.
Okay.
Although, again, I think Robert is still the favorite to come out of this side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Dad, obviously you know that I have Pete Alonso moving on. So who do you have between Pete Alonso and J-Rod?
Hometown boy. The crowd will get him going, and I think Pete is going to choke a little bit. And I'm thinking there's going to be so much pressure on him to repeat, he will falter a little bit. J-Rod wins by 2 home runs.
I will say this about Pete Alonso. He's a lot like me. He likes to get booed, and that's really going to motivate him. You know, he's a psycho. He's my absolute favorite psycho. I just think that only fuels his fire, that he's facing the hometown kid.
Well, he might as well get his energy out now because it's not going to be in October.
Shot at the Mets. Listen, that's kind of fair. All right, so obviously
Hometown boy, he's going to feel the crowd.
it'll be a great matchup. I was surprised to see such a low rating. Julio in the 7th spot. I'd rather him switch with Mookie Betts, who's our next matchup. What do they call him? Vladito. It's a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It's a little nickname for him. Vladimir versus Mookie Betts. Does he play baseball? Mookie or Vladimir, Dad?
I got Guerrero. And I got him winning that one by a good margin. And I think he finished, second last year. And I think he got a taste of it. He knows what to do this year. He's going to be better for last year's experience.
He did win a couple years ago. I want to say it was... No, he didn't win. I think he was a runner-up in 2019.
He was in the finals.
Yeah, but he put on a really good show.
Yeah.
That was Pete's first year, yeah.
Yep.
Mookie, I think...
That was a hell of a contest, by the way.
He was.
Yeah.
Mookie, I think, will put up good numbers, kind of like to people's surprise. But he is a smaller guy. I think it's great to see him there. But I have just the long ball. People get additional time for hitting those big home runs, and Guerrero will hit those numbers.
Shots.
So obviously we both have Guerrero moving on, Dad. We both had Robert moving on. You have Julio. I have Pete. Obviously you know that I have Pete, but you said that your winner is going to be Guerrero. So,
yeah.
So we both have our winners coming out of this bracket.
Yeah.
I would love to see both of our picks. I would love to see obviously Julio wrong, so we can have a really fun matchup rooting against each other.
That'd be a battle.
We love that. We love competition here at the Father and Son Pastime podcast. So we both we had different finals completely. You have Guerrero and Robert, and I have Randy and Pete. So it'll be a really fun derby.
Yeah.
For the fun of it, Dad, just to see if we get anywhere close to this, we have a few minutes left. How many total home runs get hit by all 8 players in all 3 rounds? Last year was somewhere around 300. I want to say 300 to 350, but my numbers.
I'm saying 320.
Okay, I'll take 370. I'll take a
Wow,
show of shows.
Record year
I'll take a show
in
of shows.
Seattle.
Show of shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see how it goes.
Enjoy the derby, folks. We're going to go upstairs. We're going to get our bets going, have fun with DraftKings if that's what you do. And if you're able to watch this and we're right, oh my God, give us a subscribe, like us on all the social media. We're not on Threads, we never probably will be, but at Pastime Podcast _ on Twitter and Instagram.
We'll be back soon. Hopefully, we'll talk another podcast with the second half coming up and everything else. Who did well the first half and who didn't?
We might do another quarterly report, but we'll definitely do a trade deadline predictions and probably a trade deadline reactions. We know that those videos are some of our more watched ones. But for now, enjoy the Derby and enjoy the All-Star Game.
Have fun.